Besides eating cereal with water, what is the most outrageous eating sin you have ever witnessed? One time, a long time ago, I ate Lucky Charms with Guinness as a St. Patrick's Day bastardization. I would not recommend. Saw a dude eat spaghetti and milk one time. One very dark time. A former friend of mine once poured a can of Coors Light into a bowl of Cheerios. He called it Beerious. Kid I used to know in school used to rip open his milk carton and dip his burrito into the chocolate milk. Sometimes he'd even go so far as to rip open the burrito and pour his milk onto the beef and eggs too. I'm quoting him here. Creamify the meat. I don't know, man. But the word creamify is just ugh. Edit 1. Wow. Went to sleep with only 556 karma to my name. Woke up. And now I have 6.8k. Whoa. You guys and girls are amazing. Thank you so much everyone. Edit 2. Fixed my grammar and random capitalization. A watermelon and ketchup sandwich. I call it a sandwich because it makes me sad. I work at a pub restaurant waiting tables. This couple walks in who I've never seen but are apparently regulars. The bartender sees them, shoots me a glance, and goes to grab something from the kitchen. Before even taking their order, he's filled the crushed red pepper shaker and told me to take it over to them. The woman orders a small cup of French onion soup and proceeds to unscrew the cap of this shaker and dump the entirety of it onto her soup, an inch high off the top of her bowl. She's eating this spicy red pepper like cereal and didn't even ask for a drink refill. My sister used to put ketchup on strawberries. Fried eggs with chocolate melted on the yolk. Edit. I am absolutely loving all of these replies. Dude in my dining hall had a plate of sunny side up eggs. Scooped under an egg with his fork. Brought it up to his mouth. And only touched his lips to the yolk. Proceeded to suck all the yolk. And then slurped the rest of the egg in. It was like a car crash. I couldn't look away but I was horrified. I had a friend who went through a period where cake decorating was her hobby. And she made some amazing looking cakes that all tasted horrible because of the bizarre flavor combinations. It was always a bit funny because people would compliment the look of them and then have to figure out how to throw their pieces away without being rude about it. The worst one was a Christmas cake with an immaculate looking fondant Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer that was an orange spice cake covered in mint icing. It was like brushing your teeth and rinsing with orange juice in cake form. Ketchup on sushi. Shivers. My dad's girlfriend puts cucumber in any hot dish she can. Green chili, chicken soup, taco meat, sky's the limit. She also doesn't believe in draining noodles and will let them sit in hot water until each strand of bloated spaghetti is as thick as a goddamn shoelace. I don't eat there anymore. I knew a guy who would bite into Hot Pockets in the middle, holding each end. WTF man. My mom puts peanut butter on cold pizza. It is the closest flavor to vomit that is not vomit. Dipping Oreos in orange juice. My baby sister used to eat pancakes and ranch. My mom just accepted it because she was such a picky eater and this was something she just thoroughly enjoyed. We're pretty sure it's cause my mom craved both when she was pregnant with her. My wife dips PBJs into spaghettious. Went to college with this one girl who would get a chef salad. Slice up banana and put it on said chef salad. Then use ketchup as dressing. I do not this person ate that on a regular basis. Edit. Wow. This blew up. Just now seeing this. I'll try and respond when I get a chance later. A couple of years ago when my best friend and I were still in college, she stayed over at mine a few times. It was then that I learned that she liked dipping cheese into hot chocolate. Like, full on dunking it in. Waiting for it to partially melt, swirling it around and then eating it. I love her to bits. She's like my kid sister, but I still haven't entirely recovered. Edit. From all these comments, I've learned that this is indeed a thing in some parts of the world. Cheers guys. I'm not sleeping tonight. My sister would make Ritz cracker sandwiches, except the thing that went between the two Ritz cracker buns was another Ritz cracker, except chewed up and spit out. It was disgusting. I used to be obsessed with A1. I would put it on everything possible because I loved it so much. One day I put it on Jello. I no longer enjoy A1. I live with someone who lives to eat food sins. Do you really think water with cereal is bad? Boy, the thing I would consider the least of eating sins would be when she microwaved a ducking pickle with cheese on it, then dipped in ducking ice cream. I can't stand to sit in the kitchen when she's in there because of the itch she made. If anyone is interested, I'll provide more horrid creations she made and ate. But all you really need to know is that ducking pickle. My friend was eating salad with his hands at a restaurant. He's not my friend anymore. Edit. This may be hard to believe, but this same friend also eats spaghetti with his hands one by one without any sauce or cheese. I've never been to an Italian restaurant with him, so IDK if he does this in public. Mustard on cheesecake. Edit. Answering a few comments. It wasn't me, it was a friend. It was yellow mustard. Any kind of cheesecake. You can't compare it to mustard on a sandwich containing cheese, so the flavor profiles of both are completely different. On top of that, cheesecake is a sweet, yes, and somewhat tangy, dessert. Whereas normal cheese is just tangy, and all the other cheesy flavor profiles. The number of people that misread this as cheesesteak amuses me. Apparently this is normal in the Netherlands. The guy on 4chan who fermented a bottle of his own semen into liquor. A ketchup brownie, my cousin. This son of a bee. I worked in a restaurant that served authentic imported Kobe beef. I had someone order a 16-ounce Kobe filet mignon. Well done. The chef nearly cried and definitely threw things. If I recall correctly, he ended up having to put that $200 steak into the microwave to get it to cook all the way through to well without burning the outside to charcoal. The guest was pleased and his date looked horrified. Eat cereal with orange juice instead of milk. When I was a server, I had a customer dip her bread in a glass of Coke. She finished her whole bread basket and Coke and asked for another basket and another refill of Coke, and went to town again for round 2. She didn't give a crap how she looked and ate at it like it was the best thing on earth. I used to make cheese sandwiches with cinnamon raisin bread. Mixing ketchup with soda. Granted, we were trying to gross each other out, but still, it was an act of culinary violence unlike anything else I've ever seen. Can we stop putting ketchup on literally everything? The wife dips Oreos in water like a psychopath. This is my own confession. I really love to eat lemons. Not in wedges or squeezed on things, but in the way you would eat an orange or a clementine, by peeling it and eating the whole thing. For some reason sourness is just the best to me. I'm a person of many weird food preferences, but this is the one that causes witnesses to cringe the most. I used to eat blueberries with ketchup on them because I liked the texture. My whole sibling group eats tomatoes and peeled oranges, clementines like a normal person would eat an apple. But the worst I've ever seen is a guy in my class take a cheese and sauce filled roll type thing, rip a hole in the bottom and suck it dry, in a restaurant with other people. Another time, my little sister, she was a tiny kid at the time, got gulab jamun at an Indian buffet. They're like milky donut holes soaked in watery sugary syrup. She leaned over the table and vacuumed them up off the plate so she didn't get her hands sticky. My roommate's mom eats peanut butter and onion sandwiches. My friend ran out of milk, so she thought she could possibly use coffee creamer instead. My wife likes crunchy peanut butter and bologna sandwiches with cheese. Her mom also adds mayo. I just can't bring myself to try it, literally start retching at the thought of the flavor. Mom's boyfriend crushed Cheez-It crackers into his coffee. That day he ate waffles covered in spinach and fish sticks drizzled with syrup, all the while loudly smacking his lips saying "Oh, so good." Mom says don't let it bother me. It bothers me. Eating a Kit Kat whole as opposed to individually tearing off the chocolate fingers. As a kid, we heard about cheeseburger pizza but with ketchup and mustard instead of tomato sauce, American cheese instead of mozzarella, and hamburger meat on top. So, we tried it. You wouldn't think it would be that different. The ingredients are the same as an actual hamburger, except pizza dough is actually very different from the bread of a hamburger bun. It's kind of sweeter and fluffier, and really soaks in the ketchup and mustard to an absolutely disgusting degree. It's awful. I'm not sure if this counts, but there is a guy at my uni who eats all his meals on his laptop keyboard. He sets his food on the keyboard and eats off of it. Makes me so uncomfortable. Drinking ranch straight out of the bottle. Apple slices dipped in mustard. It was hard to watch. My grandparents like peanut butter and pickle sandwiches. So I've been told. Edit. Why is this so popular? Mustard on waffles. I was a weird kid. Friend's mom used to eat soy sauce with ice cream. A friend of mine once ate peanut butter with his hands out of the jar in the backseat of my car on a 10-hour drive. I also saw him make a salad by peeling lettuce off a head of lettuce he pulled from his backpack and hand tearing red peppers up while standing next to a knife rack, then eating it without any dressing. He's basically a Nick Cave man. Personally, I like to squirt a little Capri Sun into my ramen. People ridicule me for committing the sin of microwaving bacon. I don't give a rit. You throw 3 slices in a folded paper towel on a microwave safe plate and 45 seconds later you have an awesome treat to throw on a turkey sandwich with minimal cleanup. Go duck yourselves. P. Edit. Apparently significantly less people need to go duck themselves than I previously thought. Several of my friends like to bust my balls about this whenever the conversation allows. And in the most unfortunate times, work functions, after bar meals with groups of friends, meeting new people, etc. And I've had literally no one back me up, ever. Kudos to all you upvoters. I'd gild every one of yins if I could. When I was in grade school I went over to this kid's house to play, then ended up staying for dinner. We had spaghetti, some vegetable, maybe salad and something else. His entire family would mix everything together before eating it. His dad seemed to be the ringleader mastermind behind this scheme. I remember someone cheerfully saying, well, it all goes to the same place. And then the rest of them agreeing with this truism as if it were some serious folk wisdom. That's some serial killer it right there. My friend dips her pizza on Coke. From the last time this was asked, 30-year-old Macallan mixed with Diet Coke. My cousin put salt in her cereal one time. She puked like 5 minutes after. This one guy had taken hummus and dipped his duck eye and popped it all in IT and ate IT. Who here looking for snack tips? He ate a Snickers bar with a knife and fork. She poured the milk in before the cereal. Well, I just saw that Heinz mayonnaise has come out with a Cadbury eggs mayonnaise and I'm really concerned for the people who eat that abomination. In college I would sometimes drain the water out of my shrimp capo noodles and mix in a big spoonful of peanut butter. I honestly don't know what to tell you other than I did it once out of boredom. It wasn't terrible, and it made my life interesting. As a teenager, we all used to eat french fries dipped in our chocolate shakes. Turns out it was PMS cravings. But wow, it satisfied the cravings. One of my coworkers will smear mayo, not mayonnaise, on a banana then dump peanut crumbles on it. He also wears socks with sandals in the winter, in the snow, in the Midwest. I may have, in the past, eaten steak with ketchup. My preteen cousin likes his scrambled eggs crunchy and adds broken up egg shells to them. Gordon Ramsay needs to teach you all some geezus. Eating plain mustard with a spoon. It was me. I committed the eating sin and would do it again. My brother is a psychopath. Also maple syrup on lasagna. Alsoist pepper sauce on garlic bread. Also ranch with eggs. Making hot chocolate with water instead of milk. So I know I am late as duck and this comment will probably get lost in you. But I mentioned this thread to my fiancé and told him a couple of the examples on here. Then told him, you know what I'd comment on here, don't you? He looks at me with a blank face. No. I go, obviously the time you dipped imitation crab sticks in vanilla yogurt, and this man, I it you not, looks back at me with the most confused look on his face and goes, how the hell can you compare dipping pickles into ice cream, whipped cream on hot dogs, etc. to dipping crab sticks in yogurt? That crab is fake. It doesn't taste like fish. It tastes sweet. And yogurt is sweet. No one is gonna think that's weird of me to do. Jeez. And with that, he rolls his eyes and gets back to his video game. Still believing that yogurt and crab is just a lardy ducking down normal combination of foods to eat. Reddit, please. I know this comment may not be read by many, but I'm, like, ick now. Planning on spending the rest of my damn life with this man. So can y'all please help me gently drill into his duck-eyeing brain that imitation crab and vanilla yogurt is, indeed, an egregious duck-eyeing food sin. Thank you guys in advance. SMDH. Guy I worked with put peanuts in his Mountain Dew then microwaved it. Capital I, nightly, eat a sandwich that goes from bottom to top: bread, pepperonis, spray butter, shredded cheese, salt, spray butter, pepperonis, spray butter, salt, spray butter, pepperonis, spray butter, salt, bread. Edit, the sandwich. My sister used to mix peanut butter and syrup in a bowl and eat it. Edit, welp. Apparently this is normal. I have a co-worker that eats banana and mayonnaise sandwiches. You read that correctly. Pineapple with mayonnaise. Not witnessed, but committed. Rice and ketchup, nothing else, and ketchup to pasta and pesto. I had a weird thing for ketchup as a kid. Glad that went away. A good pizza with ketchup, come on. One time at a friend's house at 2 AM I really wanted a quesadilla. This was before Taco Bell had them, but a local burrito place that kept normal hours had just opened and I had an itch that couldn't be scratched. My one friend says, "Don't worry, I got you." He proceeds to put a slice of Kraft in a tortilla and microwaves it. To this day I am confounded by it. I frequently eat peanut butter with my eggs. Peanut butter omelette. Peanut butter fried egg sandwich. Peanut butter melted on scrambled eggs. My friends think I'm a monster. I know this'll get buried, but I knew a kid in grade school who would dip pizza in applesauce. I used to look forward to pizza day and then suddenly remember the horror of that kid layering spoonfuls of applesauce on each bite. Still grosses me out. Peanut butter tuna sandwich. Also had mayo, mustard, and jelly. My sister was only 3 or 4 at the time, but she was proud of it and ate it happily. Excuse me, but who the duck is eating cereal with water? Guy ordered a Sprite in McDonald's. Asked the cashier to put whipped cream on top. Wanted to slap it out of his hand when they actually gave it to them. I watched a guy pour ketchup onto his spicy garlic wings. Vienna sausages instead of a frankfurter in a hot dog. There's a rice dish called arroz con pollo, which is rice with chicken and a bunch of small veggies made with like a bit of tomato sauce so it all comes out red. I would eat that with cream cheese and people would get really grossed out. Rice in general with cream cheese is addicting as hell to me, hahaha. My best friend, despite much protest, decided to mix canned corn in her Frosted Flakes and milk because she thought she would like the texture. She did not. We still are unsure of what provoked her to make such poor decisions, but believe her trail of thought put cornflakes and corn together to make one disgusting combination, lol. My friend in college made Easy Mac with vodka instead of water, powdered cheese and all.